Hello and welcome to this month's astrology video. This month we'll be looking at the sun passing through the lovely sign of Taurus. As you probably know by now, if you've watched some of my other videos, the earth signs I feel are very badly represented in modern astrology. So to bring back some reality, we are on the planet Earth and we do need to consider Earth in our astrology and our two-way relationship with our own planet as well as the other planets in our solar system. So when we think of Taurus, we have to go to what the sun is doing at that time of the year, and we're in May. So Taurus isn't just stubborn and boring and slow moving. It's actually the beautiful energy of the fresh green buds, the wet earth, the potency of all the flowers, the roses blooming, and the general feeling that spring is here, the smell of cut grass, and that hopefulness as the sun begins to get warmer and we can go outside and appreciate nature. So Taurus, put in that aspect, becomes a bit more heartfelt, a bit more tangible, and the earth signs are all to do with our senses on one level. So Taurus tells us to slow down by all means, but it's to stop and smell the roses. It's to slow down from the mentalism and the obligations and everything else that's going on that distracts us in life, and to actually feel the earth under our feet and watch the roses bloom, listen to the bird song, and appreciate that we are right here and right now. So there's a great deal of presence and stability with Taurus. And this is represented with the bull, which is the symbol of power and fertility. But also I feel we need to add the cow as well. So we have the bull and the cow, the masculine and the feminine. And the cow was known in Druid times for its nourishment. It gave milk and meat and hide. And the bull was very, very important, especially in the age of Taurus, because this is when we were reconnecting to ploughing the land and therefore able to make more of our land and have a bigger harvest and more abundance. So we have that earthy abundance that comes in, not just with the flowers blooming and the buds coming out, but also with our ability to work with the land. So Taurus is a very heartfelt and real sign, and it's time to slow down and appreciate what we have now. There's a gratitude aspect, and there's a release really from the cold winter and from the running around of Aries, and there's a release to just sit and relax and feel life as it is in the present moment. Taurus is ruled by Venus, which also rules Libra. And Venus, through the earth sign of Taurus, is all about music and harmony. And the reason for this is that Venus is about 2/3 the size of Earth, and as they both make their orbits around the sun, they create a beautiful, perfect, geometrical, harmonic pattern together. It's so beautiful and it's so symphonic that Venus-born Taurian, Libran individuals are normally very in contact with that geometry and that harmony, and therefore steer towards the music and the arts. So Taurus being earth, you get rhythm, you get the gardening aspect, because that's creativity with earth, and also with cooking as well. There's a real connection with food and being creative with the abundance of the land. So Taurians are known for music, food, abundance, and being very heartfelt and very now. So that's what we have with the sign of Taurus. Now when we go through when the sun goes through the sign of Taurus, there will always be a full moon in the opposite sign, and this year we have the full moon on the 25th of April in the sign of Scorpio. Now whereas Taurus represents the birth, the cow, the productivity and the life, the sensuality, Scorpio is directly opposite, and Scorpio represents necessary death, going into the dark, giving honour to those that have passed, and us facing our shadow self as we go into the dark winter. So when the sun is opposite the moon, we have that life and death. We have that sensuality. Scorpio is known for its sexuality. It's going into that intimate, the connective areas. So we're on the axis of Taurus and Scorpio at the time of this full moon. Now the full moon is a partial lunar eclipse this year, and that is when the Earth's shadow is cast across the moon. So the sun is on one side, the Earth is in the middle, the moon is on the other side, and the sun casts the Earth's shadow onto the moon. And eclipses are said to bring sudden change, because we're all swimming around in a sea of electromagnetic waves that are all interacting with each other, but when one body gets in the way of another, it changes the frequencies quite suddenly. So although it's only for a few hours, 4 hours I believe at moonrise for anybody in the UK, we feel a sudden change. We feel like something's got in the way, something's shifted, and light being blocked. There's a different play of power there. So when the Earth's shadow goes over the moon, over the full moon, the Earth is almost dominating the moon and blocking out that reflected light. So with eclipses we're looking at blocked light, and with all of them we need to go within ourselves, especially because this is Scorpio, which is teaching us to go into the deep places, to go within. And there'll be a 4-hour period at moonrise on the 25th of April where we need to go in and reflect upon ourselves rather than reflect on the light that's coming to us from the full moon. So that is the Scorpio full moon on the 25th of April. Then as the sun carries on, whenever there's a new moon, when the sun is in a sign, the new moon will be in the same sign. So the new moon will be in Taurus on May the 10th. And this again is an eclipse, but this one is a solar eclipse. We won't be able to see it from the UK, but it will still have an effect. So a solar eclipse is when the moon comes between the Earth and the sun and blocks the sun's light. So the moon is taking the light from the sun, it's blocking that sunlight from us. And they are normally visible, so get onto a web stream, you'll be able to see it somewhere in the world. We had one last that was visible in 1994, so if you think back to 1994, on the 10th of May, that time ago, on 19-year cycle, then there was a solar eclipse that we all watched from the UK at that time. So a solar eclipse says that we need to be our own light, because the sun is what gives light to the earth. If the moon's getting in the way and blocking that, then we need to actually concentrate on radiating our own light. So the deal with a solar eclipse is to look within again, but concentrate on your own life force energy, where you're putting your light and where you're giving your light to the world, because we're temporarily blocked from the external light source that's coming down to our planet. And a new moon in Taurus is all about nourishment. It's all about all those Taurian aspects that I was just talking about. So go deep into your heart, nourish yourself, light yourself, energize yourself. And that will be a good way of working with the new moon on the 10th of May. So to recap, we have the beautiful, heartfelt, earthy, sensual harmonics of Taurus, with the sun going through that sign all month. And on the 25th of April we have the full moon in Scorpio, deep and mysterious. Go deep inside, look at your own motivations, you're anywhere that you're not mastering your energies properly, and go and have a look at what's actually being reflected back to you deep on the inside. And then on May the 10th we have the new moon solar eclipse, which is appreciating that light, appreciating your connection with the earth, and radiating and nourishing yourself from the inside. So that's it for the month of Taurus, and I will join you again next month.